I guess we could talk about a project that Adam and I were working on. So again, my name's Professor Padu Paga, and I was spokesperson for a project of his and that belonged to him and Tanya Rubach. That happened at the Pomona College Museum of Art last fall. It was called the Bureau of Experimental Speech and Holy Theses, otherwise known as BEST. And in that project, we created a free speech auditorium that was available, that had a custom lectern and a microphone and a space for speaking that was available 6 days a week to students of the college, community members, and gallery visitors. Anybody who happened to show up could come and use the space. There was a camera in the space as well, broadcasting live everything that was being stated, so it wasn't just heard by those who were present there. It could also be heard live online, and then was recorded and archived on our website. You can find videos at youtube.com/bestx. And as part of it, we had a series of special events that also took place in the space. We had 5 events that featured various wonderful artists, many of whom we might also say have consider their practice part of the social practice realm. There was G. Douglas Barrett from New York, Anna Mayer, Johnny Jungle Guts, Amanda Ackerman and Harold Abramowitz, Matt Timmons, The Eternal Telethon, Ilana Mann, etc. There was a bunch of really fantastic folks. And we hosted a bunch of fun events in there. The space was also a reading room, so we had a lot of different texts related, like kind of manuals related to public speaking, related to black magic, related to performance. The focus was really kind of looking at how all of this, the performative aspects of public speaking, as well as the potential for experimentation within the realm of public speaking. It happened to be happening just adjacent to a room where there was, 2 different galleries that had shows up of John Cage's work. John Cage, as many of our viewers might know, was a really well-known experimental composer. But besides his compositions, he's also well known for his lecturing. He, at the beginning of his career, he won the Southern California Oratorical Competition at the age of 15, where he proposed that America should be quiet for one day and listen to the voice of South and Latin America to hear that other people think. And then later on, as he was composing his work in the 50s and 60s and beyond, he started composing lectures that were consisted of previous lectures of his and new writings chopped up using chance procedures, basically flipping coins to decide what to read when and when to put his glasses on and take them off, when to cough, etc. So as a good friend of Adam Overton's, I know Adam's work pretty well, and he used to be very involved with experimental music, and he's told me that he was very influenced by not only Cage's experimental music work, but also his way of viewing public speaking as a performance vehicle and a space for experimentation. So that's kind of how we look at. I've worked with Adam on some other projects too, and that's really how we look at a number of different. How we look at the world is it's kind of like it's just a hodgepodge of wonderful forms, and most of them are very social forms. They're ways that people gather together. They're ways that people communicate, ways that people persuade, and they're all seem to be used in very specific affective ways. But one thing that we're very interested in is that there are ways to use things like public lectures that aren't a replacement for the ways they've been used, but just an extension or expansion of the ways that they've been used before. And you can see this in experimental music just by people suggesting that there are different ways to listen to music and to create music. There's different ways to create art and to look at art, and there's different ways to create lectures. There's different ways to create forms of healing, etc., etc.